presence, being present with whatever you're feeling,
Right.
as opposed to just mind, going.
Right. So it's all about getting started. And a lot of people
Yeah.
also, struggle in that point because yes, the meditations and getting yourself grounded, being in the present moment is something that a lot of people know that this is something that okay, we should
Yeah.
do this. But again, they struggle with this
Yes.
fact of maintaining that focus because again, you actually raised a very good point here that it takes practice, any sport or anything that you're starting. But what people expect from spirituality or from meditations, that they need to see the results, they need to see how effective it is, like they can feel the meditations happening, or the meditation working in their head for like 10 minutes, and then 10 minutes later they're back to snapping, impulsive behaviors and everything. So they want to see the result very impulsively in their regular practice as well. So that patience
Yeah.
somewhere when it comes to spirituality is lacking. And again, as you said, that not everything is going to be forward. There are going to be times when you
Yeah.
would find yourself being held back, or maybe again the progress can be reversed as well. So so
Exactly.
what is your message to the people who are struggling with this, or who are struggling to maintain that focus during the meditation, or who are just so impulsive to see the results, and how they can manage that?
Yeah. Well, you use the word patience, right? And I know it isn't what people want to hear, right? Yeah, it isn't like taking a pill,
Right.
right? It is more like learning to play the piano or exercising. Like, you may exercise and sometimes you like it and sometimes you don't. But science has told us it's good for you to do it regularly.
Hmm.
Whether you like it or not, in the long term, it has these effects. Basically, science has proven the same thing about
Meditation,
meditation,
right.
right? Yeah. So some days you may like it, some days you may not, right? And you may feel like it was a waste of your time, but it never actually is, because if you stick with it, we've shown that it actually will begin to
Yes.
repattern your brain. Now, I do think that it is important to find ways to connect it during your day. So, like that memory exercise I talked about, like at the end of the day, think over your day and pick one reaction you had that day where you got triggered, and just rewrite that one. Feel, where did I feel it in my body? Let it go. And it starts to create this bridge between, say, your sitting meditation and daily experiences, because it is possible to meditate for a long time and never make that bridge into daily
Right.
life. The point is to be able to catch yourself, just like in meditation, you're thinking about something and you catch yourself. You're strengthening that muscle. The point is to be able to start catching yourself during the day, but you do have to sort of direct that. You do have to sort of direct
Right.
that.
And this is very important to do because, yes, people do meditate and then they say that, again, the waste of time because they're not
Yeah.
able to maintain or, identify that bridge, because
Yeah.
meditation is being, again, sold as something transformative, something that you would just,
Yeah.
switch the, I would say, another aspect of you, another um, body of you, and people
Yeah.
expect that. But again, it's not like taking that pill. And maybe that is why a lot of people, instead of being into this healthy meditations and everything, they are somewhere directing towards the substances. Again, substance abuse come, and these days I do see that vaping is very popular these days. The teenagers are very much into this habit. So what are your views when it comes to substance abuse, how they can somewhere energetically shift towards being more regular when it comes to meditating? Because someone who is relying a lot on that substance, how can they break that bridge and get into meditations?
It's very hard, especially if someone has gotten to the point where there is a chemical addiction. There's a physical body, biological process happening then that usually people need some other support to
Right.
help break, right? And so, I would really encourage someone to do that. And in fact, it's interesting in terms of my own client
Hmm.
practice. addiction issues are something that if someone says, "Oh, I'm coming to you to help me heal my addiction," I don't actually work with someone unless they're also
Yes.
in a substance abuse
Right.
program, because you need that support, right? So it's so important. But so many substance abuse programs and addiction programs now do incorporate meditation for exactly that
Mm.
reason. Because once you've broken through the addiction, what you have to be able to do is the next time you have that desire that I need that
Mm.
substance, you have to be able to sit with that very uncomfortable feeling and choose differently, right? And that is what meditation is training you to do. So it's a really powerful, powerful combination.
Right. So it's important
Yeah.
for, seeking that professional help as well, and also in the medical terms, and also with this spiritual work. So it goes hand in hand. We cannot
Yeah.
just rely on this particular thing. And I think it goes with
Yeah.
multiple things as well. So if you are facing some, physical issues or anything, even with the mental issues as well, mental health is very getting, again, the a lot of people are talking about it. So they need to be in that professional training, or some professional aspect of that. And then the spiritual healing can actually, this would be, I believe that this would be more like settling the strong foundations for the future. So it goes side by side.
Yes.
And
Yeah, absolutely. Address the physical and the psychological and the spiritual,
yes,
right? The whole being.
so it's all
Yeah.
about combining all
Yeah.
the efforts.
Yeah.
Okay, so how can someone starting with their spiritual journey, needs to take care of things like how they can adapt to their new way of living? And what would be your message to someone who's just starting with their spiritual journey?
Yeah. Really gravitate, give yourself exploration time and gravitate to the teachers, maybe through videos or books that you feel a connection to, because it is very individual. It is very individual, and there's a lot of different meditation techniques. So, some people do very well with mindfulness, breath based
Hmm.
practice. Some people, I really, I'm a high energy person. I have a busy mind. I came to meditation with a busy mind. So for me, the chakras were perfect because it was more active. It was like I'm visualizing a color, maybe a mantra. There was more going on. And so that kept my mind engaged until I could anchor it in that. So some people are very visual. And
Right.
so visual meditations where you're visualizing are very helpful. Other people are not visual at
Hmm.
all, and sound really helps them, right? There's a lot of sound meditations. So I think allow yourself to explore, and then once you've found something, stick with it for a while and anchor it into your day, preferably in the morning, even just a short time, 10 minutes. Anchor it to some other activity, like I have my tea while I'm meditating, or right after I brush my teeth, I meditate, or right after I shower, I meditate for 10
Okay.
minutes, and just build it in to anchor it to something you already do every day. And that will help you build up that consistency.
Yes, that is also very important to build that consistency. And this also
Yeah.
brings us to our next question, which is, talking about meditations and everything. It is important for us to hold our energy boundaries very right. So I see that, it also comes down to our auras as well. So how can we strengthen our auras? And if you know about it, can you explain a little bit about the auras?
Yeah. So aura to me, and I think people do use this word differently
Yes.
sometimes, aura to me is sort of like the most external part of our energy. It's almost like our energy skin. It's the part that shows, right? To someone seeing it. Then there's all this internal stuff going on too. So it's really like what's at the surface is what impacts your energy. If your aura, if you're feeling angry, that impacts your energy, right? Like however your whatever your current state is, if you're not feeling well, that impacts your aura. So there's a link to your emotional and your physical state, and then it's really sort of this energy field. So I think I like to talk in terms of boundaries when it comes to aura. Like, do you have a strong sense of your boundaries, your filter of what you want forward? And sometimes it may be different. You're going to visit someone who's sick in the hospital. Maybe
Yeah.
you really want heart energy forward. So you can focus on your heart chakra and really feel that coming into your aura. Maybe you're going into a job interview, and so you need your third chakra. You need a sense of confidence, and you want to project that,
Yes, right.
right? So there's different ways that you might focus on a chakra and bring that energy forward into your aura. So that's how I like to think about it.
Yes, that is a good way to actually, explain it and to work with it.